What's up guys, my name is Wouters and today we're gonna finally do the trick tip with full cap no comply. So as you probably found out yourself, the trick consists of two tricks, which is a pivot and then afterwards a frontside 180 no comply. So I'm gonna show the tricks like separately so you can see what's going on. First off, the pivot. And then second is the frontside 180 no comply. You really want to be able to do those tricks like comfortably and separately. And if you don't know how to do the frontside 180 no comply, you can just check out my other trick tip for that trick. And then once you have those tricks unlocked, you want to try to combine them in this full cap no comply. But it's really important that you know that it's not like doing those tricks separately. It's a whole different trick. Like it's nothing like doing a pivot first and then a no comply afterwards. It's really different from that because you want to do it in one motion. Otherwise it just looks like, yeah, it just looks goofy or whatever. I'm going to give you my most important tips that I can give you to form this trick like in one trick instead of the two tricks separately. So the first thing is that you gotta pop your board harder, and that's because normally if you do your no comply, you have like all this pop that you can give your board to pop really high, but right now you only have like this much more pop because you're into a pivot, so you don't have as much leverage as you normally would. So you gotta pop it harder, so you really want to kick your board really hard on the ground instead of like giving it a pussy pop, because then it won't make the last 180 from the no comply. So the first tip is to pop your board really hard, and you still want to make sure you give it that diagonal pop. You don't want to pop it just straight downwards, but you want to give it that diagonal pop so you're sure that your board will make the 180. So that's really important for your the foot that pops your board, the diagonal pop, and popping it really hard. And then the key point for your foot that goes on the ground is just to have balls when you put it on the ground, man, because it's really scary to put it on the ground when you're doing the pivot first. And then just putting it on the ground will make your board smash your leg a couple of times before you get it. But that's all skating, man. But yeah, it's really scary to put that foot on the ground, but you gotta do it with confidence. You gotta do it like, alright, I'm gonna do it. You gotta commit to it, and then it'll be alright. So those are three tips that are already really important. So to sum it up really fast, yeah, popping it really hard, doing a diagonal pop, and then the third tip, to dare to put your leg on the ground. And then another tip, and this is something that helped me, like the most important tip for me, was to be aware of the motion that your body is making and the motion that your board is making, because both your board and your body are going to do like a turn. But it's really important to be aware of the speed and the pace that your board and your body are doing, because there are two ways to do a pivot. The first way is to let your board spin first and let your body follow. So I'm gonna demonstrate that right now. So really pay attention to the motion of my board and the motion of my body. So this is my board spinning first and my body spinning afterwards. So that was the first way. The second way is to let your body spin first and let your board follow. So I'm gonna demonstrate that too. It's a really small difference and a really small detail, but when you're doing this trick, it's really important, and it's a big tip for doing this and being able to do it consistently. When you learn to pivot, you probably did like one of these two like types of pivot. And yeah, me too, when I did a pivot I always did like one of these two. But when you do this trick, the full cap no comply, you want to let your board and your body like spin at the same pace and at the same time, so that your body is really balanced over your boards. So it's really centered over your board. And then when you did the pivot, you have a small moment that you're able to pop the board just like you would normally do it, really centered over your board. If your body spins first, after the pivot, you will end up like this, and then, yeah, you can't do a no comply anymore. And when your body like spins first, you end up like this, and then you can't do a no comply, of course. So that is the most important tip when you want to do this consistently, and when you want to be able to always pop it the same way. Just be aware of where your body and boards are. So I'm gonna demonstrate the way that it should be done now. Alright, so that was like really, my body was really centered over my board, so I was able to pop it really high too. Because yeah, when you do that, you're in the same position as you normally would, so it's really easy to pop clean no comply. So this last tip might seem really weird and you might not see it on camera, but it feels really different, and it's also really different to pop the no comply afterwards. So while it might not be as clear on camera, when you go outside and go skate and you try these different types of pivots, you'll probably already feel the difference, and you'll surely feel the difference when you do the no comply afterwards. Because when I was practicing this trick, I could do it like after like 2 months. I could still do it like 1 out of 3 times or something, and normally I would already be able to do the trick. But when I found out like the pace of my board and body spinning, and when I was like, yeah, I have to keep in mind that my body is centered over my board, I was able to do it way more consistently, and right now it's like I can pop it right away. So yeah, just go out, go try that. It's a really hard trick, it's really difficult to do this trick, there's a lot going on. Yeah, if you want to do it as you should do it, your wheels can't touch the ground after you did a pivot, because then it isn't really a full cap no comply. If you want to do it like that, you really have to practice. But yeah, like every trick, with enough practice you can do it, I'm sure of that. And if you need any more tips, if you already tried everything that I've said right now and you still feel like I can't do it, just send me a message, send me a video on Instagram or something, and yeah, we'll figure it out. To end this video, we're gonna try some variations. So there are a lot of variations, especially with this trick, and that's because yeah, it's just you do a pivot and then you can do any no comply you want. So I'm gonna try to do some, and yeah, find out your own variations, of course. Get creative. Yeah, that was actually my first time ever landing that. So as you already saw, there are so many variations. You can come up easily with new variations. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this trick tip. Let me know what you think about this trick. Thumbs up, share it with a friend. Yeah, subscribe if you're new to this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.